game dev workshop. Can we clap really quick for you guys? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yes. Good. Okay. So as always, you guys know my name's Nicole. I'm the Explore PM. Just going to go through a few quick things. This presentation of mine is really important because I have our exit survey. So please make sure to fill that out so that you guys are eligible to get your merch, because I know most of you guys have been here for all three of them. So as always, remember, we have our Explore Hub. Go to FIU.edu/Explore Hub. That's where you'll find all your Notion docs and live streams for all of the workshops. If you fall behind, if you need reinforcement, you can always go there. Remember, we have our socials and our Discord. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out through there as well. Explore cohorts are closed already for the semester. We're going to start back up in fall. But remember that all the workshops are open to everyone. So if you guys see one on the Discord, on the Instagram that you're interested in, you can always feel free to go. So now that you guys are at the last one, if you have come to all three of them, scroll down. I'm going to ask you guys to fill out this survey for me. So this survey is really, really important. Had you guys fill out the entry one in the beginning, and now this is the exit one. Essentially, we're trying to see how much you guys have grown and how confident you feel in your skills in the beginning versus at the end, how confident you feel in your resume, in your project building skills. All of you guys have been building up a project throughout this entire thing. So if you had previously said that you didn't have a project and now you've gone through this, then you should be putting yes on that. If not, I will hunt you down. So please just take a second to fill this out really quick. Once you do that, then I think I'll just go through some announcements and you guys can go ahead and get started.
If we're in two different tracks, should we choose both of them or right now just this one?
Put both of them, yeah. So that's something that I'm still working out. If you guys are part of two tracks, you really only have to fill it out once. But ideally, I'd like to get feedback for each track individually. So even if you've already filled it out for another one, fill it out again, yeah, and just put maybe in the comments section, more particular to game dev.
Can I check up with you on which cohorts I'm registered for?
Yeah.
Because I think I switched to hardware, but I wasn't able to attend any of those.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I mean, I don't really check on that front. What I do is I check to make sure that you've come to all three of the workshops and filled this out. So even if it doesn't say it in your entry, like in your intake form, you should be okay, but let me double check for you. Okay, don't kill me. I know I should know, but what's your name again?
It's Luis.
Okay, yes. I don't see. Oh, it's because I'm filtering. Beam, beam, beam. No, you had web dev and game dev.
Okay.
You're set.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Game dev pins.
Only positive things, make sure.
Yeah. Because Ricardo does know where you live. Keep that in mind.
You have class after?
No, I don't have class, but I have a meeting at 6:30. So I'm going to be finishing up a presentation that AI made for me. Yeah, because I have my qualifying exam next week, so I have to read 7 papers and make a presentation about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'll just kill myself. It's okay. I don't need to be here. Okay, while you guys are finishing that up, I'm just going to go over our upcoming events really quick. Can you scroll down for me, please? So tomorrow we have our Flag Ops, which is our Capture the Flag event. The registration has already closed, but if you guys are still interested, you can go ahead and sign up. I will say that if you are interested and you didn't already register, you should check out a hacker guide. So this is actually like the Airtable form. It has a link to our hacker guide and it has a live stream link to the boot camp that we did. So if you guys do want to join in last minute, that's totally cool. Just make sure that you go and download all the materials that you need. That's going to be tomorrow at 3:30 in PG5 155. So that's basically all I have for you guys. I'm gonna wait for some more people to come in, and then I'm gonna give out the pins. If I don't call your name for whatever reason, and you know you went to all three, probably just an issue with the feedback form, or probably just like I didn't check you in for one of them or whatever. So just reach out to me. Yeah, thank you guys. Did you check them in? Thank you. I checked it?
Yeah.
Oh,
all of
okay.
them checked in.
Amazing.
Unless somebody walked in, no.
Is everyone checked in? Yeah? Okay, perfect.
I registered late.
Yeah, I got you. I checked in.
Awesome.
All right. Remember, this is the link for the project. I have the updated workshop link. So everything up to the last workshop that we had. So I know some of us had problems with collections and certain objects. So just download that and you're good to go. Basically where we left off. Yes. That'll take a few minutes. So let's just start. Hey. What happened? Oh, that was the original one? Well, I don't know. That'll take us, a little bit to debug. I would just do the new one, and then maybe we could track back, add to that one, see if we could. Yeah, just add project from disk, and then just find where the folder you extracted is, and you're good to go. Yep. It is cohort 2, but I think the Notion docs are in cohort 1. They might be in both. I don't really know, to be honest. It's definitely in one. Definitely in one for sure. All right. So I've given you guys a couple examples of indie video games and certain games that not just indie that have released and have been successful. Some that have not, and it's totally fine. The example that I wanted to give you guys today is I don't know why, sometimes your best idea in your mindset, in your head, might not be the idea to become successful. So the example that I'm going to give you guys is, there's this developer, which the game that I'm going to mention, all of you guys know for a fact. He, before that, developed a lot of RPG games. So very complex RPG games. None of them were successful, none of them. And then he built a very simple game that just, for some reason, just became extremely successful. And everyone knows it, right? Who does not know Five Nights at Freddy's? Everyone knows it, right? Now, this guy built a bunch of RPGs before this game. Very much more complex, complicated code, games, ideas than what Five Nights at Freddy's is, right? Five Nights at Freddy's is the simplest thing you could build. You could probably build it in a day, right? But yet, this is what made him almost $300 million, right? He has movie rights. I mean, they have done everything, from merch, from everything. And I assume that this is estimated, because this is probably just...
Yeah, that's just the movie.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can. That's a good eye.
Yeah, if you search up relevant, way out, yeah, that's even harder. Yeah, it's off Steam.
Okay, whatever. But again, you sort of know the scope of how massive this franchise is, right? And this is just one game. They have come out with, I think, 5 different parts and movies and whatever. So even though his original ideas of building RPGs, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I see a lot of people here, they'll come up to me and show me a massive RPG, super complex for the first game. Just because that doesn't do good, doesn't mean your next project won't, right? So always follow your passion, but keep in mind what you don't expect to be successful might be what does, right? So keep that in mind. You can find success even in your failures. Yeah.
I do think what's really interesting about this case, because I've heard of this story countless times, because I know far too much about
Right.
games.
Right.
But basically, like, the creator, like, he launched this game as like a ditch effort, basically.
Right.
Because he got told that his previous stop motion characters looked like animatronics.
Right.
Came up with this idea and he just launched the game. And the game's code is so simplistic that there's a way to just kill off one of the characters and win.
Right.
Essentially at any given time.
Makes sense. I mean, I've seen the game. I haven't seen any other code, and I estimate that code can be longer than, I don't know. That code could be so simple. There's nothing complex in that game. So, yeah, I don't know. I believe it 100%. And again, he comes from building RPGs, which on RPG, it's basically all code. That's all you do. It's all coding. You have to try out for different scenarios, different things that come up in an RPG. So it's such a contrast. Oh, nice.
I'm gonna bring plates and stuff. Love Five Nights at Freddy's.
So that's sort of, he probably thought that all his RPGs were awesome and this game sucks, yet this game's what made him extreme amounts of wealth and not the other RPGs. So just because you have a passion project doesn't do good, doesn't mean, hey, stop doing this and just, accept to be moved to something else. It's fine. Maybe a different idea will be successful. All right, so with that, remember this is the updated workshop link. This is where you go and start downloading this and put it in Unity, and you're good to go exactly where we left off, okay? Now,
How do I get to that website?
so to get to the website, you have to go to this link here, go.fiu.edu/explorehub, and then you'll have this notion here.
Okay.
All right, so we have not a lot of time, and we gotta finish a lot of code, right? So we're gonna crunch a bit, right? I'm gonna try to explain everything, and I'll stop. We'll go over certain stuff, but we do have to crunch a bit. So I want to get everything done, so you guys have a project that you can showcase once you're done with this workshop. Okay? Who does not have the project open yet? So everyone, okay,
I'm still working. I have the one I had from last time, which had some slight bugs.
right.
But then
You're trying to get the updated link? Okay, that makes sense. That's fine. Okay. Right. Okay, so when you guys open the updated link for the project, this is what you should see, right? You're able to click play. You could move, you could go up, and that's it, right? We don't have collisions up. We don't have respawn. So we got to fix a couple different things. First, we have to make sure that the pipes keep respawning. We also have to sure that whenever you hit something, you die. So how we have it here, the set for the pipes are standard, right? So they don't move. In the original game, they're not supposed to be, in one static height, right? So they're supposed to be higher, lower, whatever, right? So we have to do that as well, and then we have to add animation to our player so it looks like it's flying, and we also have to have our score, right? And then we'll just reset whenever we die, right? That's basically what we're missing, for the most part for the workshop, okay? All right, so let's start with where we left off last time. So again, we got our scene view, the pipe goes out, it'll delete, and then technically something else should spawn, right? So let's just start with that section of the code. Let's go to our loop handler and open our script. Everyone can see? You want me to make it bigger? It's good like that? Good? Okay. Okay. So this is our loop handler. So you see that whenever we hit, our pipes hit our collider, we're destroying the object, right? So what do we have to do in this case? What are we missing? We got to install something else, right? Is that Discord me?
Yeah. No, that's me.
Oh, okay.
I'm having trouble opening the project.
Okay. Give me a few minutes, okay? If you don't mind lowering the volume on the Discord, it's a little. You can.
Just quit Discord.
Okay. Right. So first, let's spawn the pipes, right? So what do we need? How do we are approaching this issue? Let's just say that we're gonna spawn at the same time that we destroy, right? So we have, yes, back there. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah, that definitely has to be in the update. Actually, not necessarily. Not necessarily. We could just put in the same function. Because we could spawn as soon as we destroy. Let me just move this loop handler a little bit closer. And let's go back to the script. We could destroy, we don't want to make it too crazy difficult. Again, the difficulty and how complex you want to make it is up to you. But for now, let's just focus on spawning as soon as we destroy, right? So when we're here, we know that we're destroying, right? So let's spawn something in this section. We need a variable. Let's call it public transform spawn location. And we also need a object that we're spawning, right? So let's create public game object and pipes to spawn. I don't know, think of any clever name, right? Here we also need a float called speed. We could make it public. I don't think it matters. Let's make it public just in case. We need to use it from somewhere else. Okay. So now, if we destroy the object here, we're going to instantiate the pipes, right? Because remember, this runs once. It runs one time whenever our pipes get destroyed, right? So in that moment, we want to spawn another set of pipes, put it on the right, and they'll move by themselves, okay? So we're going to use a function called instantiate, and this takes a couple different parameters. So we need to use transform. Okay, so we need to use this one specifically. So if you can see, this one takes as parameters, that's your 5th out of 11. Your object, the original object that you're spawning, your vector 3, so your position, and then your quaternion, so your rotation, right? So we're gonna pass the object that we're spawning and the position and rotation in the 3D space, and we're good, right? So let's use that function. And what object am I spawning? Pipes to spawn, exactly. Then where am I spawning it? Spawn location, that position, and then spawn location, that rotation, right? So we already passed the object, the position, and the rotation, right? Okay. So technically, we are good to go. Just save it. Is anyone still copying? Okay. And then now we go back to Unity, okay? Now we have to set this in a way that it makes sense. So first we have our spawn location, and then we have our pipes to spawn, right? So we have to have a pipe set, okay? Let's open this, which we should have it. There you go. This is gonna make sense a little bit later on, but for now, right click on pipe set and put create empty parent and call it pipe set parent. Okay? So it'll be pipe set parent, pipe set, and then each pipe individually, right? I'm gonna explain to you guys why in a second that's important. That's related to them moving up and down. You don't wanna move the whole parent, you wanna move inside of the parent. So we'll probably just move this and leave the parent, on a static so it doesn't mess anything up, okay? And then your move script, you want to copy it and put it in the parent. Paste it in your parent, right? There you go. And remember, once you paste it, remove it from the child. So again, you should have pipe set parent, pipe set inside, and then each individual pipe inside of it, okay? This will make a lot more sense in a second, because we have one thing that's moving left, and then we also are gonna have something else that's gonna move it up and down, and we can do both. So just to make our life easier, we'll just create another parent and then handle them separate, okay? Okay, so we have that, and our loop handler needs several things, okay? We need a spawn location and we need a pipe. So the pipe set, we just drag and drop the one we have here and turn it into a prefab. How do we turn it into a prefab? Drag and drop it down here, okay? In order for you to instantiate an object, it has to be a prefab. What a prefab is, it's basically something within your Unity folder that's an actual object. So everything inside of your scene doesn't technically exist in your folder, okay? This is just exists within this scene. But if you want to create something from outside of this scene, you have to bring it from here, from your folder, okay? So you first have to turn it into a prefab in order to be able to use it.
Is it the parent of the pipe set or the pipe set that we put into as an object?
Everything from the parent.
So the parent of the pipe set.
Yes. So if you know you did it right, you'll see that your pipe set parent is blue. So all the blue objects are prefabs. You have a question?
I'm still having trouble getting into the project.
Okay. Okay, you gotta uncompress it first. So the zip file that you got, uncompress it.
It's uncompressed.
Okay, click on it. Click on that and just click Add Project. Show me on your, no, not there. Go to your downloads. Wait, is it done? Go here again. No, here. Go here. Open that. It's still uncompressed.
Oh, okay. Don't know why it's taking a long time.
Yeah, no, you're good. It takes a bit. Yeah.
How do I create the prefab? Because I tried.
So, you're getting an error somewhere. Just delete that. Okay, so go to your pipeset parent.
Mhm.
Close it. Okay, you just drag and drop it down there.
Okay.
Okay, that should be, there you go. Okay, so once we have our prefab, this is what we're gonna pass to our instantiating function, right? It needs to be from the folder, right? Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So, we're gonna go to our loop handler, and for pipes to spawn, we're gonna drag and drop our pipe set, okay? From the folder, and drop it here. Remember, from the folder and drop it. It cannot be this one. It can be the one in your scene. It has to be the one in your folder. Now, anybody wants to say why it can't be the one in your scene? Any guesses? Look what happens when you use the one in your scene. So, okay, before I show you that, I have to have a spawn location. To have a spawn location, just copy your prefab, paste it, so we're duplicating it, right? And just move it to the right. And this, I think this could be a good enough spot to spawn it, right? Once you think it's in a good spot to spawn, outside of view, so there the player can't see it, right? So we're spawning it here. Let's rename this to spawn location, and then right click on it, prefab, and unpack prefab completely. This is nothing important technically, but it's just for my own sanity, right? You know, it's a different object. So unpack everything. Once you unpack everything, remove your component. All I'm doing is just removing everything from here, because all I need this for is just an empty object so I can reference my location. Feel free to ask me questions. I just copy it from here because it was just easier. But it's all I'm doing is deleting everything. Look, I'm opening here and I'm just deleting everything inside. All I need is to have an object that gives me the location of this just outside of the screen so I can know where to spawn it, right? The reason that I just copy this and paste it is because this already has this position. So I can just copy, paste it, move it here, and then delete everything else. I don't need anything else. I just need an empty, yes.
Can you show your loop handler script real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not getting, it shows like the scripting there, but like, it was basically the same issue that I had last week, where it's like, it doesn't show, you see where it says like spawn location, pipes to spawn, and like the speed?
Right.
Right there, like it only shows the script tab, it doesn't show those other three.
That's syntax error.
I just want to see if
Yeah, that's syntax error somewhere. And if I had to guess, it's probably in your instantiate function. So just make sure that you have it. Instantiate takes a lot of different parameters.
Oh wait, hold on, let me see. I don't know if this fits real quick. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know when nothing else is showing up here.
Yeah, when nothing shows up, it's definitely syntax error. So somewhere there is probably in your instantiate. you have an error. No, it's definitely here. You have an error somewhere there. Pipes to spawn, spawn location dot position, and see how everything is blue. It shouldn't all of them shouldn't be. I don't know, but it's definitely something within that function.
That's right.
What I would say is just maybe close, save it. Make sure you're saving. Close your IDE. What IDE are you using, by the way? VS Code?
Yeah.
Yeah. Close IDE and then maybe open it again. Usually, when you don't have enough libraries, because I see that you don't have autocomplete, right? So when you don't have libraries and things like that, it makes it more challenging to like know where the issue is. Yeah, I don't know. Or you might not have a library. That could also be a thing. Because I've seen it happen. If you don't have the right library, it'll just throw an error. Yeah.
So where do we grab the loop handler? So I was having the same issue, but I was able to reload it and it worked.
Wait, say that again?
Where do we drop the pipe set parent into the loop handler?
So from here, you're gonna drag and drop this here all the way to your pipes to spawn. Okay? Now, we have the spawn location. So remember, I just copied, deleted everything, and just had the position, right? So now if I click play, it should work. So let's just see how it works. Hopefully it works. It'll be here. Once it hits, destroy runs, and nothing happened. All right, now let's debug why nothing happened, okay? Right, we have a error. Okay, yeah, I don't have a position. I don't know why I missed that. My transform, I didn't pass it, right? So my spawn location, I gotta get it here and then pass it, right? Now, we should be able to see it, right? So let's just go to our scene view. And it'll get here, destroy, and then spawn over there, right? And now we have an endless loop. So it'll do the same thing again. It'll destroy here and spawn over there. And it'll be gone, it'll be going forever, right? Make sense? Now, yeah? Yeah. So, no, but that's what I'm gonna explain in a second. So, a couple things that we gotta fix. Now, I wanna explain why. Why is it that we can't pass the object up here to our loop handler? Because that's in our scene, remember? Let's just try it out so we could understand how game dev works, right? So instead of that, I'm gonna pass my object inside of my scene. Watch what happens. My object is this one here. Interesting. Okay, so see how nothing is going on at the moment? Reason for that is, and we have a problem that I have to explain to your question, why we have so many. So that's kind of why it worked the second time, but it was not supposed to work at all. So if you have something here, right, and that gets destroyed, that is destroyed. How are we gonna spawn something that is destroyed? We can't. So we have to get everything from the folder. Because we're destroying this, how do we spawn something that's destroyed? We can't. So everything from the folder, that's what I want to explain. So that's why it didn't work. Now, let's try to fix this couple problems. So let's go back, go to our loop handler, and pass our actual pipe set from the bottom, right? Now, let me go to here and to the code. Now, every time that we destroy this, let's say that speed equals speed plus 1, okay? Now, technically, this runs once, technically. But computers tend to behave in a very weird way, right? So the reason that we have so many spawning at the same time is because even though technically this is only supposed to run once, it's not. Why? It just doesn't want to run once, right? Because the computer is too fast. It's such a simple script, right? So it's overrunning, and it's running 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, whatever amount of times it can, it'll run. And then if we run this 3 times, we're not spawning 1, we're spawning 3, right? So that's a little bit of a problem that we have. So to fix that, we just add a timer of 0.5 seconds, and then we're good, right? So let's add a float timer. We can call it spawn timer equals 0.5f, right? And then in our update, we're gonna check the time.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm receiving an error when I'm opening my project. I'm getting this error, and it's not allowing me to open the project.
missing user or default window layout. I've never seen that error. You sure it finished extracting everything? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would try maybe debugging, checking what people say online. I've never seen that error. It seems like to be a setting with your Unity, but I don't know. Click X for a second. Click, quick. There you go. Quick. It just keeps going. I'm not sure. Never seen that error. I would maybe copy that error and maybe put it on Stack Overflow, see what people say. But yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
Let me know if you're able to open it. Yeah.
Actually, because I only just opened the updated one.
Right.
So I have the script. I think I have it good. So I copied the script.
Right.
Hold on. Syntax. I always make the syntax error. So then I created the parent for the pipe set, and I put the pipe
Right.
set in there, and then I think I'm pretty sure I'm missing.
Click on your loop handler.
Click on the loop handle.
And let me see your script. No, you're missing something on your loop handler.
Well,
Click on it.
in the script.
Yeah. You have an error somewhere.
Probably a syntax error. Okay, let's see. Let me check if I didn't. Oh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be-
It's usually something like that.
Yeah, with me, yeah, for sure.
No.
Let's see. Yeah, yeah.
Save it
Well,
and see.
Yeah.
Try to
exactly.
save it and see if you can open it. If everything shows up there, then you're good. Scroll down. Yeah, see, there you go. You have it. See, he had the same problem you had, and it was basically a semicolon. He put the
But it's also
semicolon
saying-
and everything appeared. So sometimes it could be something like that.
Oh, we haven't assigned the timer, the value for the timer yet, have we?
No,
Okay, okay, good. That's
No.
fine.
but make sure to reference all of your variables because you have them as none. Okay, so we're basically gonna check if our timer is bigger than 0, where spawn timer equals spawn timer minus time dot delta time. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm creating a timer of 0.5 seconds, and I'm checking in the update, hey, is this bigger than 0? If it is, then just count down to 0. Once it's 0, then don't do anything, right? Now, what can we do with this spawn timer? We can get this spawn timer and use it when we're colliding, right? So, we don't have to worry about destroying. because destroying is fine. But we do have to worry about speed and instantiating. So in here, under destroy, we're going to create an if statement and call it if spawner, spawn time is less than or equal to 0, then we're going to run whatever's in here, right? We're going to copy our speed and our instantiate and pass it here, right? After, at the end, inside of the if statement, make sure to put the spawn timer, reset it to 0.5. So I'll go over again. In the meantime, you guys copy. Our original problem, I have a bunch of objects that are being instantiated, right? How do I fix that? I have to limit the computer to do what I say. So in order for me to do that, I give it a timer and I say, hey, spawn whenever I say so, okay? I'm gonna say that it's in half of a second. In half of a second, you're gonna spawn. And you're not gonna do it again. And that's gonna fix all of our problems. So I created a timer. We just added a float. That float in the update is checking, hey, is our timer bigger than 0? If it is, then just count down. We don't want to invert this because if we invert it, it'll be counting down all the time and it'll be negative 500, whatever. But if we put it inside of that if statement, it'll only count down till it gets to 0 and then it'll stop. It won't do anything else, right? Once it's a 0, it's when we're going to use it here. Oh, our spawner is less than 0. Okay, we're going to spawn timer reset. This is not going to run again until this gets to 0 again. Fixes all of our problems, right? So we save that and we go back to Unity and click play. Now we should have one destroying and spawning at the same time. See how we just have one now? That problem already left, completely. So now it'll, there you go, one more, and then it'll destroy and one more, right? Okay. Now we have a bit of a problem the way we set this up. The way I set it up, it's not destroying everything because I don't have my collider in my parent folder, right? So that's something that I gotta fix in order for things to get destroyed completely. So let's go to our prefab, okay? Prefab is inside of our folder, remember. Click on the prefab. And it should take you to this spot, right? Actually, no, let's try something else. Let's go back to our script. I think this is going to be an easier route instead of just changing. Let's go back to our script. Whenever we're destroying, let's destroy game object dot collision. Think about it. I want you guys to think about it like a game dev, right? So the problem that I'm having now is this has my collider, right? And when it collides, it destroys. But it's only going to destroy whatever it collides with, right? So my parent folder, this parent folder doesn't have any colliders. So it's not going to destroy it. And this other parent folder, it does not have any collision either. So it's not going to destroy it either, right? So how do we fix that problem? I think the best that we could do is go to our script. Since we know that is our parent folder, let's just go to collision. We're destroying collision.gameObject.parent. I don't remember the syntax for that for a second. Okay, so we're destroying the game object that transformed that parent. So that should give us the second parent, but we have two parents. So let's just play and see what happens. I think it's gonna destroy up to the pipe set, but the pipe set parent, I don't think it'll destroy it. Is it not destroying anything? Probably. Yeah, no, it's not destroying anything. That's awesome. Okay, we just managed to break a working script. Okay. Yeah, the error said that I can't, so I'm trying to destroy. Yeah, this is not the way. Okay, we're just not gonna take this approach and forget I even said anything. But you could do this, because I've done it before. I just don't remember how to get to that specifically. But you could do game object, that parent, that something, that parent, and that'll destroy the parent, but it's not
I
working.
think it's because your computer is a Mac and I'm not, mine is not.
No. The syntax for Unity, thankfully, it's all the same in PC and Mac. So you should be fine. Okay, so instead, we are going to leave it like that for now. It's not bothering me, so it won't bother anybody. Okay. Actually, we could just copy, we could do something super bad here. And let's go open our, this is, by the way, this is Game Dev 101. You go into a problem and you have a deadline that you have to finish super quick. And then you have to sort of think of how do you fix this issue that just came up that we weren't planning on, right? So how am I gonna fix this is in my original pipe script that I'm moving the pipes, I'm gonna just add a timer and destroy it in 20 seconds. It's never gonna take you 20 seconds to go from right to left. So I'll just wait 20 seconds and get them destroyed by themselves. Make sense? So open your move pipe. So the script inside your pipe parent, right? The one that we moved to a parent, go to pipe set, and then it should be move pipe script, something like that, right? So what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just create a float, call it destroy timer, right? Let's make it equals to 20. And then I'm gonna put that destroy timer equals destroy timer minus time dot delta time, right? When destroy timer is less than or equal to 0, then we're destroying that game object. And that'll destroy, that'll be your last cleanup. We'll have everything destroyed at that point. Does it make sense?
Instead of doing the loop handle thing, we're just gonna destroy it this way?
Yeah, technically I'm doing both, but I could just destroy it like this and ignore the loop handler. But I'm gonna leave both just because it's fine, doesn't matter. The right way to do it is through the loop handler.
Why is it the right way?
Because you want things to happen whenever you want them, and the loop handler is destroying whenever it's colliding. This is destroying based on 20 seconds. Let's just say that along the lines you make a different level, and you, at that point, 20 seconds doesn't work for you. You have to come back to the script and rechange the script. So this is the wrong way to do it, but because we have this scenario that we have to just finish it, everything, it's just, that'll do for now. Question in the back?
Yeah, I keep when we had the object at the left, or the right, I mean, and then it would like be the spawn position.
Right.
It doesn't stay there, it like keeps moving.
Yeah, because you have to delete everything. So when you copy everything, delete everything inside of it, and also delete your script. This script, it's gonna keep moving it. So if you don't delete it, it'll move forever. So you have to delete the script. No, the pipe set, the spawn location that you copied and pasted, you have to remove the script from your spawn. Impossible. If you did, it doesn't move.
Is because spawn location has pipe there under it.
Yeah, your spawn location should be this object that doesn't have anything here, and it doesn't have anything inside. If it doesn't have anything inside and no scripts, that's how you'll get that working. Yeah.
I previously had the pipe set under the spawn location, and I deleted it, and now the pipes aren't respawning to the right.
Okay. You had this pipe set. Let me see it again.
I had it under, and now, because I deleted them, they stopped spawning. So now, this one goes and gets destroyed, but to the right, nothing spawns in.
Let me see what, okay, save that. What's your, wait, why is that happening, do you know?
No, I don't know. Because previously I had two pipes here, because the pipe set was also here, it was just at this location.
Right,
But I deleted that, and now nothing's respawning.
okay, what's your loop handler? Go to your loop handler real quick. Okay, you have your pipe set to spawn is this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I can just drag it again.
Yeah, click on your spawn location here. Okay, go to your scene view and show me your spawn location. Oh, you're on scene, sorry. Go to your spawn location. Okay, so it is here, so it should work. Go to your script real quick,
On the pipe set.
on the loop handler, Because you say you changed something and then after that it didn't work?
Yeah, I had a pipe set.
Oh, you're getting an
under
error
spawn
somewhere here.
location.
Go to console.
It's like, well,
That's it. Okay, clear that. Okay, go to your script. So it didn't work after you did what?
After I had pipe set here, and I deleted it.
No, but spawn location shouldn't matter. You're still getting that error. That is so weird.
The script is. Where's the script one?
Loop handler, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, here. Loop.
Okay, instantiate pipes to spawn dot position dot rotation. Zero. Man, everything was good. Click play again. No, not there. Sorry, here.
I don't have a spawn location, that's why I have the name. 'Cause
Go to your scene view.
project,
Okay.
I think you're ahead of me, so.
Should I just try adding the pipe set back into the spawn location?
No,
See if that does anything?
but yours is not cloning or anything, which is really
Oh,
weird.
that's something I've deleted?
Yeah, it's almost like something else is it's running.
Pipe set.
Okay, close all of that. Just close.
I was gonna increase the move speed, so.
yeah, it's really
but
just,
it's,
I don't know if I said it though.
let's see.
You said jump on that, like to make it like,
Yeah, we should have one, I have one.
would you?
Okay, click play.
Let me show what I have so far.
Go to your script again.
There's the animation, and then if you look at the scene, it, but I don't have the spawner, I don't have the pipe spawning in the beginning.
Okay, no. If it's less than or equal,
That's the issue you had with the two.
that's your error.
Oh,
Save it and then click play.
Your collider fell. Because it has the, what's it called,
There you go. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, you had it bigger than 0.
Okay.
So bigger than 0, it was just never running.
Yep, that makes sense.
So when we did the spawn location object, my Unity crashed, so I missed that part only.
Okay.
So how is it that you have to do that one?
So just copy your pipe set parent,
Okay. Paste it right there?
Yeah. Just move it to the right, or after, outside of the,
Okay. So this,
there you go, just so you don't see it. There you go, that's good.
right there? Okay.
And just delete everything else.
Here?
No, go and open it. No, the one
Oh,
under.
okay, my bad.
Delete everything in there. You don't need none of that.
Alright.
And then click on it. Remove that script.
Remove it? Okay.
Mhm. And then change your name to spawn.
Spawn location?
Yeah.
And then do I have to drag it somewhere or not?
Yeah,
Or that's-
yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to be picky, so it's not blue, you could also remove it from being a prefab. So you can right click on it and go to prefab. Prefab here. Unpack prefab completely.
Unpack completely.
There you go. You're good. Now just drag and drop it, and that's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
So far I've,
Hold on, I don't want to bump into any cables.
oh yeah.
No, you're good.
So I have this. So I have the
Right.
lighter, the he moves and everything. But I was opening up the project when you were setting up the spawn location. So I have the spawn location.
So your pipe set, pipe to spawn should be that,
basically here.
right?
Okay. This is
And-
an asset we're putting.
And then this, just close that. Just close everything. There you go. And then just copy and paste that.
Copy and paste this.
Yeah, copy. Yeah.
Copy
And then paste it right there.
here.
No, outside.
Oh, no, this is
Side.
this is the,
And then just move it to the right.
just to like compare and
What do you mean?
contrast to see what
Oh, this.
Yeah, because remember, you're setting your spawn location. You're setting where you want your pipes to spawn, right?
sure it's the start of it.
Okay. So then
So, I just hit like
Hold on.
reference, like what if I missed anything.
move it like this.
Outside of the screen. There you go. That's good. That's good. Don't put it too far.
Okay.
There you go. Now just delete everything in here.
I think this. I don't know why they created this. This doesn't need to be here.
Delete everything in there.
Delete everything in here.
Yeah. Open it. Delete that.
Delete this.
Yeah. You can just
Delete.
delete and click on it. Remove.
And like the issue I was having is that I need to have this one.
Okay. That's fine. Just rename it to spawn location.
Okay. There we go. That's why I said we had that.
Again, just rename it here.
Oh, there we go.
That's just being picky, but
Spawn. And then now, basically, if I have the destroyer and the spawn location.
exactly. So now just pass that. No, you have to pass it as a variable. Yeah. No, you're fine. This happens over the time.
Get ahead of yourself.
But now, when you pass it, it should be good to go. Yeah, reference it. Reference it as to your variable.
Oh, okay. In the loop handler.
Right. Okay. So, hold on. So far, we should all have this, and it'll move, get destroyed here, and spawn again, right? We have this endless loop, right? And then we also added, which was not ideal, but we just added that way, the timer to destroy. So if we wait 20 seconds, at least the first one should get destroyed, which I think it just did. So we have 3, we should have 2 in a second. Well, actually, oh, there you go, see? So it is the timer for destroying, it is working, right? So we'll never have a time. Again, we'll probably do, because the game is gonna get a lot faster. So we should find another solution, but for now, it's fine. We just don't wanna clutter this too much that it's, it'll stop your computer, right? So let's go to, let's click, let's get out of here. And then let's go to our player script. And then we're gonna add one simple line that's gonna pause our game, right? So what do you think that is? So we wanna make sure that whenever we collide, our game stops, right? So on collision, enter, make sure you select 2D. Okay, so simple as that, right? That's gonna be our game over, right? So time that time scale equals 0 whenever we collide with anything, okay? So if we go back to Unity and we click play, if we collide, technically it should stop. Okay, and it's not. Awesome. Pretty good. Let's start debugging. Okay. Does anybody want to guess why it doesn't work? Huh? It doesn't matter because we're not using trigger. We're using collision. Good guess, but we're using collision. So on collision enter, we stop, right? But it's not working. Why? Because we don't have the collider in the same spot that we have our script. We have it in the child, right? So we're gonna transition all of our stuff from the child to the parent, okay? So let's remove this collider. We don't need it. Let's go to our parent, player parent, and add box collider 2D. Once you add it, make sure to adjust it so it's proper for your size of the bird, right? And then we'll move it here accordingly, like so, more or less. And then once we have it to size, we want to remove the collider from the child, and we want to copy the 2D rigid body, right? Make sure to copy, because remember, we added a couple of things here in your rotation. Don't just add a new one. It's going to make your life easier to just copy this one, okay? So let's just go here and copy the component and paste it in our parent. Paste component. When you right click, paste component as new, right? Now we have a rigid body and a collider in our parent, okay? Now I'll just go to my child, remove, and remove from both sections, okay? Now, if I click play, this should technically stop now. There you go. See how it stopped? Because it's already in our parent, yeah. Yeah, and then passed it to the parent. So now we have that working, okay? Right, let's, I want to add a collision to the top of the map, because right now, if we keep going up, it'll just fly forever. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, I'm getting an error somewhere. My player, okay. After you change your rigid body from your child to your parent, you have to reference it again. That's why my player is not working. Reference it again, because it'll say that you're missing something, okay? So make sure to reference your player, because we moved it from one place to another, so it doesn't have a variable reference. So now if I click play, now it'll fly forever, right? So I just want to fix the issue with the roof, right? With the top of the game, right? I mean, we have a collider here in the loop handler, so I'm just going to copy and paste that just to, not have to do all of that over again. So I'm copying and paste, and I'm moving the loop handler. I'm resizing it. So this is all level design at this point. I'm resizing it, and I'm putting it on top, right? More or less, right? I'm going to remove the rigid body. I'm going to remove the loop handler script, because we don't need that. And I'm going to change this name to, like, I don't know, top collider. All I did was copy and paste. So now, if we click play, and we start going up, nothing happens. Do you know why nothing happens? Because our top collider for the loop handler was a trigger. So we have to change it back from a trigger. Okay, very important. So now, if I click play, there we go, we died, see? So if you don't want it to be that high, you could even put a little bit lower, okay? So I'm gonna put a little bit lower for me, just to be extra picky, there you go. So now if you hit the top, you die wherever, yes? Repeat the question again.
For the script, it won't let me reference the player.
Okay, let me see.
Okay, so I move
Here, yeah, this is your rigid body, not the player. The rigid body, see how it's rigid body variable? Get this and drag and drop it. There you go.
So that's it? Just,
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was.
And just a question.
Yeah.
You see the game? I put it to the size you said, but you see how it's like this? Is it like, does it adjust or what?
The size of what?
The game, because it's 1080 by 1920.
Right. Yeah, it's good. So that should be that's a resolution. The reason why I told you guys to add that is because that's a resolution of a phone. Not the resolution of a phone, that's an aspect ratio of a phone. So it's inverted in a regular screen. Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
I'm a little behind, just a little
Okay.
bit. So I have the, so I'm setting up the loop handler.
I usually don't try to go this fast. I'm just trying to crunch because we
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
enough.
so-
And this is the last workshop. So
Yeah.
I just want everyone to have anything complete.
So the two things that I'm behind are the player model and the collider for the top.
Okay.
So I have to remove
Is trigger?
remove this.
Oh.
And I think you also said remove rigid body.
Yeah, remove rigid body, yes.
Remove rigid body.
And then in your collider, make sure it's not trigger. There you go, that's good.
So so this should be good.
Yeah, that should be good, yeah.
And the player model, this is where I was confused. So we have,
No, you don't have to change anything, yeah.
but here's where I have to remove. But don't I have to move everything from the player model into the parent?
Yeah, you
Okay,
have to.
so-
So your box collider and your rigid body, you could get, so go to your player model, player parent,
Yeah.
and just add a box collider 2D. There you go. You're gonna have to zoom in a bit.
Yeah, probably. Okay, box
Okay.
collider 2D. And
Now,
oh, I added one here actually.
oh, you had one? Okay, just remove
But it's-
remove the extra one.
Yeah, so remove the extra one. It's
Okay.
it's the rigid
Sorry.
body.
So wait, you added rigid body as well?
No, that's what I need.
Okay, so go to your player model.
Can we copy it? So
Yeah,
we should have to-
that's what I was saying. You have to copy it because if not, you right click on it. No, copy component. There you go, and then just paste it there.
How wait? Do I just paste it like right click?
No. Up here. Scroll up.
Scroll up.
Right click on where it says box collider. Paste component as new. There you go. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure to remove it from the child,
Oh.
and then you're good. And you might have to adjust your collider. Any questions? Good? Okay. So far, we have this. Whenever we hit, we died. And we have an endless loop, right? So let's try to do a couple of things. Again, I'm going to try to go a bit quick because we still have so much left to do. Right, so main problem right now that we have is we have to make our pipes to move faster, right? So we have speed, and speed is what's currently multiplying the speed of the movement, right? So in order to access that, we just need to get from our loop handler, remember, this is our pipes. From a loop handler, we have to get the script and just make sure that the speed is the same as in our loop handler. And then our loop handler, remember, we put +1, right? So if it's +1, it'll be 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then this will be faster every single time it spawns and despawns. So let's go to loop handler script. And we have to remember that this is called move pipe script, okay? So let's go to loop handler script, open that. Now, in this line of code here, we have the place where we're instantiating our pipes. The only way we can access this, when you're instantiating an object, you don't have access to it, right? You don't have access to something that doesn't exist, that you're creating. But in this line of code, it's the only time that you have access to use it for something, right? Because from this, before this doesn't exist. And after this, it doesn't exist either. So you can only manipulate it when you're in this line, in line 21, nowhere else, right? So how do we change that? We turn that into an object, okay? So let's turn that into an object. Let's space and put game object capital game object, by the way, and call it pipes equals that, okay? So whatever we're instantiating, we turn it into an object. Now, under line 21, we could do with pipes whatever the hell we, I almost wrote penis. We could do with pipes whatever the hell we want at that point, right? So, what do we need to access at this point, right? We need to access the script that's called move pipe script. So let's do that. Move pipe script. Pipe script equals pipes okay, what am I doing in this line? Remember, I turned this into an object, right? This is something that I have control now. It's this object called pipes. This could be any name. The script that we want to access is called move pipe, right? I know the names are kind of like all over the place. Again, I'm terrible with naming scripts. So don't let the names, this could be named 1, 2, and 3, right? Don't worry about that, right? So this is my object. And now I'm going to access the script that is called move pipe through here. I'm accessing this script by accessing my object and saying, hey, try to get this type of script inside of my object using this function. Now that I have this, I could access technically this dot speed, and that is this. So when I put move script that speed, I'm accessing this float, and I have access to the speed that I'm moving this. Does that make sense? Yeah. Questions? No? Okay. So let's go back to the loop handler, and then under here, you could technically do this. You could do pipe script. Why is there 2? Okay, make sure it's lowercase, because I have, again, my naming is terrible. Uppercase is an actual script, so make sure you select lowercase. Dot speed equals this dot speed. Make sure when you select it, it tells you that it's, it highlights the other one, implying that it's the same one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to explain it now in a second. Let me just, you could technically do this, but if you try to access this, and this is null, for some reason your computer skips a frame or whatever, and this is null, it's going to throw an error. So instead of doing that, just put an if statement and just make sure that it's not null, right? So, okay, what? Bro, what? So let me try to explain it again so it makes sense, because I know I'm doing a lot of jumping from a lot of places to. Okay, so I have a variable here. Remember, this script is inside of the pipe that I'm instantiating, right? So in the moment that this script joins the game, it doesn't know what the hell is going on in my game. Maybe I've been playing for 10 seconds, maybe I've been playing for 2 hours, right? So this script does not know what the hell I'm doing, right? But my loop handler does. My loop handler knows that I've been playing for 10 minutes. So let's just say if I've been playing for 10 minutes, my speed might be 50. But here, my speed is 1. So in order to let this guy know, hey, I've been playing for 10 minutes, I got to update you on my speed, right? So my speed, it's what my loop handler does, right? So do I have anything on the update that's important? Nope. So my loop handler, every single time that I destroy something, I'm getting speed equals speed plus 1. So let's say that we've been playing for 5 minutes and we destroyed a bunch of stuff, plus 1, 50, 51, 52, 53. So my speed might be super high, right? My pipes that I'm instantiating don't know that. So in order for me to fix that and sync both of them together, there's 100 million ways, right? My approach is I'm instantiating something, right? I'm instantiating my pipes. This is the pipe that I'm instantiating that has the other script. This pipe thinks that my speed is 1. Let me just fix that real quick. Turn that into an object. I get the script that my pipe has. Make sure that I can get it through my game object, that get component within the section. I have the script already. If this is not null, then I'm gonna set the speed of my pipe, the one that I'm instantiating, to the speed of my loop handler that's been in the game since I started playing. Does that make sense? That's all that is. It's just, again, certain issues you have to run through a bunch of hoops sort of to get to the fix that you're looking for. There might be a different fix, but this is very straightforward and it's easier to understand, I think. Okay, so what that does is we can go to a play real quick. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna comment out my player dying so I can show you guys, so I don't die all the time, right? So I can show you how the speed is gonna be different, okay? So my pipe now, my speed is 1, right? So my next pipe speed should be 2. See how it's faster now? My next one should be 3. And then my next one should be 4. And then it'll keep going and going and going, right? So that's basically what we did, right? We just alter the speed. And then it'll just, keep going insane amounts, right? And at that point, you're dead. Okay? So, all right, we got a few minutes still. So let's try to adjust the height of the pipes, right? So, the reason that I told you guys to move this into your child and make another parent, it's for this specific reason, okay? You don't want to move the whole thing. If you move the whole thing, it might throw something off in your game. Trust me. Don't move the whole thing as a parent. Just move inside of the parent, okay? So, the way we're going to establish our height, we're moving this in a certain direction. Now, we have a little bit of a problem. My pipes are too short, okay? So I got to fix that. I'm going to go in there and make the pipes a little bit longer. So let me just do something like that. Okay? And then I'm going to move them. Okay. Actually, I'm making a big mistake. Undo. If you did that, undo it, okay? Because remember, we're working with prefabs. When we're working with prefabs, we have to modify the prefab, not the version of the scene. The scene, you can modify that. The prefab is going to care less. Prefab is going to be the prefab, okay? So we're going to do this, but inside of the prefab. So we're going to go here. Remember, double click on the prefab, okay? And it takes you to this section. Whatever you do here will be changed for everything wherever this prefab is referenced. So we're just going to go to our pipes, and I'm just going to make them bigger, right? Like so. And then I'm going to have that gap, again, how I had it in the middle, okay? So there we go. Let's just say something like that is fine. And if we go, once you're done, just go back, and then it'll say to save, and you're good, right? So see how it just updated inside of our game by itself? If you don't like the gap, if you want to make it smaller or bigger, up to you, you can just modify that, okay? So now that we have that, we have the little problem that this is going over. So let's just click on this and change this to, I don't know, layer 3. There you go. We fixed that problem. So now it looks more, I don't like the gap. I think the gap's too big, so I'm going to make mine a bit smaller. So something like that. That's fine. Save it. And then there you go. That's totally fine. Okay? Now, we have to write down these numbers, okay? Or remember them, right? We are moving this somehow, okay? So, how high do you want it? you're gonna go to your game view, and you're gonna modify your Y, okay? So let's say that that's as high as you want, that's 1.5, okay? You see how my Y in my position is changing? So from 1.5 to negative 2.5, okay? So from 1, I literally said 1 and wrote 2. That's crazy. All right, just ignore that. From 1.5 to what? To negative 2.5, right? So those numbers are exactly the movement that we're gonna move our pipes, okay? So we're gonna go to our move script, open the move script, yeah.
I'm a little behind. I have an error with the move pipe script. It says that it could not be found. The typer namespace name move pipe script could not be found.
Okay. I think, let me see if I can fix it quick. If not, then we're gonna have to just leave some of the errors at the end because then we're gonna run out of time, and I want you guys to also eat because they brought pizza, which is pretty cool.
Yes, this
Go to your script.
I was thinking that I missed something that you put here. Or?
No, that's right. Just go to the errors again. Go to the console. Go here. Double click on it. No. Double click on the error. So your error is right there. Yeah. Okay. Your name is different. See, that's why.
Script. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Again, we're gonna crunch massive, okay? I wanna try to finish this. We're not gonna have enough time to finish everything, but it's fine. We'll do our best. Okay, what was I working on? Okay. Right, so, okay. We have to go from 1.5 to negative 2.5, right? So we'll just create a start here, right? So remember, the start function runs once every time you start, okay? And then we're also gonna create a public game object and call it pipe set child. Sure, that's fine. Okay, so the pipe set child, we're gonna move it from, in our y-axis, I think, right? So if we're moving our y-axis from 1.5 to negative 2.5, that's how we know how much we move, right? So let's just create a random range, okay? So pipe set child. Yeah, I just don't think we're gonna have enough time. I feel like we should give all the pins and give them food and just call it. And if they need, the problem is that I want to finish, but we have so many problems.
Yeah, and the thing is, you could get us all up to date, and then you could post it later too.
Yeah.
'Cause
I want them to have the pins and eat, so.
I just didn't want to wait until like super late in case people needed to leave.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can take a quick.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
And then if it's not a problem, like maybe you could leave the scripts up so we could like look at it.
Oh yeah, of course.
And keep it.
Anyways, I'm gonna upload. Reggie, if you can, please.
Guys, watch your eyes.
With what? Water?
Watch.
Nice.
That was a good joke. That was a good that joke.
That was good. The other thing too is maybe you can add to the notion how they can actually like upload it to GitHub. Because I I know last time you had time for that, but if you don't have time, it's okay.
Nico, I love you, like a lot, but
It's okay. It's
I'll,
okay.
I'll see.
Y'all Google it. Google how to upload it together. Okay, so really quick, we're gonna give out the pins. Then I guess should we do two birds, one stone? Come up, grab the pin, grab the pizza, and then the people who are left over can then come up. Yeah, you wanna help me with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first person is Garrett, and then Mr. John, and
I think
then
you went to other workshops as well. The first one, right?
No, not the first one. The first one, I showed up to the last two,
Okay,
but
that
I
makes
wasn't
sense.
able to make the
Nice.
first two.
Mr. Garrett.
Thank you, sir.
John.
and then John, David, Jacob, and Lewis. And remember, they have like a little blue film on them, so like I promise they're not that weird color. They're supposed to be like yellow.
Are they different from the original one?
No, I didn't think about that. And also, we don't have. We're out of luck on that. So then, yeah, whoever didn't get a pin, you guys can also come ahead and grab some pizza. I just want to thank you guys who did attend all three of the workshops.
What I do
know
with
this
this?
is not
I said
like
hold on to
mandatory. Is take the time out of your
For a
days,
second.
and we really appreciate it.
Funny.
If you showed up at all three, then you're not on here. It's probably just because you didn't show up there. So can you do that now?
You change the double A, I don't hear it.
I did.
Oh, you did?
I'm sorry I couldn't get anything done with this.
No, you're
session.
fine.
I mean,
Anyways, I'll have the full workshop will be uploaded on the go.fiu.edu. So you'll have everything, so don't stress it. As long as you learn something from it, you're good to go.
right, but no, I was looking for something that I could put on my portfolio.
Yeah, you could put the whole project on it. So you'll have the link for it, and you could definitely use it.
Right. Although I would like to show you what I'm currently working on and what I would need help with.
Yeah, we can do that after the workshop for sure.
All right.
Just let me know, okay?
Okay.
I know.
Hey man, I like your idea about when you mentioned that we were not gonna be able to finish it. I like what you said. I think that's a nice idea, like to, and I think you posted on GitHub or something, you said?
I think get everyone up to speed.
Yeah.
For all parts of the connection, I think that's better than, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Put the empty one on the
Yeah, of course. It just sucks because we're not gonna have time for the score. We're also not gonna have time for the animations and the sounds, and that's kind of, you know, the pretty side of it. But I guess it is what it is. I'll try to, I mean, anyways, you know, worst case scenario, I mean, not worst case scenario, I planned for this. So if you just go to your scenes and you go to the Flappy Bird scene, anyways, you have everything here working. So, you know, it's here regardless, right? I just wanted to show you guys how, you know, this is basically what we're building, right? So even though we didn't get the whole way, you still have the script, you still have everything in here, okay? So everything is done, completed already. So we'll just see how far we get, right? Okay. So again, we have the pipes like this, and we need to reference the child, the pipe set here, okay? So the reason that I told you guys to make an extra parent is because this parent, it's gonna move left and right, right? And the child, the one that's called pipe set, it's gonna move up and down randomly. How do we accomplish that? We go to our script. We create a start function. And then in here, what I'm doing is I'm getting a quaternium and a vector 3, so my rotation and my position, of the same pipe that I already have. So it doesn't really matter, right? And I'm modifying the Y position. Remember, the Y position, we moved it from 1.5 to negative 2.5, right? So I'm just modifying the Y position to be somewhere between a random range between 1.5. Actually, I don't know why I put 3. 1.5 and let's flip this around. So let's put negative 2.5 and 1.5F, okay? There you go. So I'm modifying my Y position. By the way, can everyone see it? You want me to turn off the lights? Okay, that's good then. So between the of negative 2.5 and 1.5, so that's basically the amount is gonna move up and down, and then I'm just setting it to, hey, move to this position. What's gonna happen is every time we start a new pipe set, it's gonna be a random number between these two numbers. So let's say one time it'll be 1.3, actually no, it can't. Yeah, it can be 1.3. 1.3, negative 2 point whatever, you know, so it'll be something between that range, right? Every single time, and it'll be completely different. Yeah.
Is pipe set child something different, or is that the
That's this. That's what I was showing. So pipe set child, it's gonna be this, the pipe set inside, right? So we have the parent, and then we have, that is why I told you guys we need another parent, so it makes more sense. So that's why we did it. Just specifically, I was just looking ahead to this code. So very important, make sure to go to your prefab. And check that it's here. So when you go to your prefab, because we changed it in the scene, but your prefab is what we're instantiating. See how it's not referenced? It says none, so you have to reference it in your prefab. So just get your pipe set, drag and drop it here, you're good to go, right? So if we just go back and click play, save it. I'm gonna comment out my player dying. If I think I still have it comment out. Yeah, I still comment out. Okay, so that's good. So if I click play, it should be random positions every time. Let's see if it is. I don't think it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So if you want to make it more drastic, you can change your random range, your numbers, maybe put in more, and your gap, maybe put it a little bit smaller. So see how my gap maybe is too big? But I mean, at that point, you know, somebody's dying. And we have an error somewhere because the loop is supposed to run forever. So we do have an error somewhere. Question? This is the pipe child. You're supposed to make a reference to the second, the pipe set. So it should look like this. You should have your pipe set. That should be your child. All right, it's 5:50, 1 actually. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. I think we went over almost everything. We missed, you know, making it look pretty, the animations, and the sounds. But I think overall, that was good enough, I think. Yeah, the whole workshop is completed anyways on the other scene. So you have all the finished scripts. You could put them on your resume. You could, again, everything is in there. Yeah.
And all the scripts, like, we could just go through and look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. All my scripts completed are in there. So you could just, actually you could look at the difference. We might have done something slightly different because I just, you know, improvise while I'm here. But they should be like 90% identical. All of my own scripts. So yeah, you could go through them, use them for whatever you need. Yeah. Well, it depends what you're using it for. This should be a game object. Actually, you could do either way. You could use transform. Either one works. I use game object, but you could use transform. Because your transform, we're only modifying anyways the position, so transform will do the trick just fine. Either way is fine. Anybody have any questions, any remarks, anything related to the workshop?
Where can I find that original Flappy Bird scene that you were talking about?
Yeah, so I have a folder in the game, in the project, I mean, called Scenes. You go to Scenes and you go to Flappy Bird.
Oh. What's the other scene?
The other scene is called Workshop, which is this one. So that has everything built in. That has audio, collisions. Actually, you could, that scene is, so if you want to show it to your friends or, again, somebody here, that scene you're able to build for phones. Because if you look at my script, I also put, where's my player? I really wanted to show you guys this score, but whatever. I built this by myself, and I'm pretty proud of it. This has touch, so where's my touch input? Oh, okay. My touch input is somewhere else. Never mind. Disregard. But the way that I set the scores is normally in Unity you have a number or letters that you could just set it to whatever. So you could just do text.text and just put your score is 5 now. Text.text, your score is 7, and you just parse an int to a text, and it's easy. But I just reinvented the wheel. I just had a bunch of numbers that were game objects, and 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. So technically the highest score that you could get here is 99. But I wanted to do this example because I think it's cool. Remember, when you use a function or something that's already pre-built, just remember at the end of the day, behind the scenes, it's all the same thing, right? Somebody built it, like reinventing the wheel. You're just using the function, but it's the same thing, right? So what I did is I created, again, back to data structures. I created 2 arrays and 1 array for the left numbers and 1 array for the right numbers. So you have on your left and right, 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. Every time you set the score, you have, if it's less than 9, we don't worry about the numbers on the left. We just worry about the numbers on the right. So up here, I'm just worrying about, 0 to 9 on the right. If it's bigger than 9, I'm handling both, right? All I'm doing is I have two arrays, and my array on the right, in the first for loop, it'll run from the size of the array from 0 to 9, set everything to disable, and then it'll enable the score that I have, right? So if the score is 7, it's gonna enable the array number 7, which is my number 7. Make sense? Pretty cool, right? Now where it gets a little bit more complex is when you have double digits, okay? And a little bit more complex. I run the for loop again, but I run it through both. So if I have 15, I run it through both numbers, right? Both arrays. Set both of them to false, so disable them. And then in order to enable them, it's a super cool formula. So if you divide by 10, you get the first 10 digit. And if you do modulus 10, you get the last digit, right? That's pretty cool. So I just get whatever number, if it's 15, divided by 10, it'll give you 1. Modulus 10, it'll give you 5, right? So, and it's 1, 5, and it'll set active your 1, your 5, and you have your score. And then it'll keep going on and on and on. I think that was pretty cool. Right. I think that's it. Any more questions, anything? Again, all the scripts and everything working, it's already here. And you all have my Discord as well. So if you want to reach out, feel free.
I was just going to say that I think, I don't know what I did by accident on the Flappy Bird scene. I think
Oh, you've messed it up. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I can't. But if anything, I can maybe ask him.
No, anyways, the original one, I still have the link.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can just re-download it, but I have no idea if you change something. The updated, yeah, that has everything. So feel free to play with it, try to break it, it's fine. If anything breaks, just re-download it again. It's totally fine. By the way, I don't know if there's, I have no idea. Yeah, there's more. You guys want more? There's more.
Oh, you speak Spanish?
No, there's more, yeah.
No, I said you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't hear anything. You're good. Nobody else is gonna take him, so take him.
It's pretty good.
I wonder where it's from. No idea.
How much you think?
Picture of this. Thanks for the workshop, Rick.
No, thank you, man.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Very, very cool to be able to add to it.
I think it's a cool project. The way it's set up, you could build it for phones. I don't know if I showed you guys, but the game is, this is literally that.
It was like a Unity app?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, the
I mean, it's the same one. All you have to do is just go to settings, build, and you build it, and it builds just like this. Because the touch input, everything, everything works like the original game. I'm glad this might be my last workshop.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing so many. And it just,